Brought to you by CHM, a biblically based alternative to health insurance. Learn more at chministries.org/budget.
Well, just quick context. My husband is an addict. He, on average, spends about $6,000 a year on his addiction to tobacco and marijuana. We've had kind of a rough couple of months. His father passed away. His grandfather passed away. I'm currently pregnant with our third child and taking a toll on him. So I've actually seen his spending go up a little bit. Shouldn't say a little bit. It's kind of doubled in the past couple months. Last month was $700 alone on his addictions. Anyway, that by way of context, my main question is, we have a car payment. It's $600 a month. We currently have the cash that I could write a check and pay off the car. The loan is $20,000 and some change. And we would still have 6 months emergency reserve, like you suggest. My concern is with his kind of out of control and erratic behavior right now, I'm afraid if I do cut a check, pay off the car, and we gain the $600 monthly to help with groceries and other bills, I'm afraid it's just going to go out the window, and we can't contribute to savings, and things are super tight anyway. So,
what's your household income?
Right now, it's $156.
Does he agree that he has a problem? Is he willing to get help?
He does agree, and he says he wants to get help, but I have to say, like, the come to Jesus talk happens about every 2 weeks.
So wait a minute. Okay, one more time. What's your household income?
$156 a year.
Okay, and what do you make and what does he make?
I'm a stay-at-home mom right now, and so the whole salary is on his side.
Mm-hmm. So if you said to him...
Okay, you use language differently than I do, okay?
Okay.
If I was to say that my wife was an addict, that would mean that our marriage was either getting ready to end or she was getting help next week.
Yeah.
How long?
But you use this like it's part of the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been for several years.
Yeah, that's on you.
Yeah, why. If you said you've had several come to Jesus moments and he's clearly not gotten the help, at the very least, have you had the conversation of, well, if you're not going to get help, I need to be in control of the money because you're going to starve us.
Yeah, I am in control of the money.
Then how does he get money for pot?
Right. How is he getting the money for drugs and tobacco?
He only has access to his paycheck, which goes into our joint account.
He has the only paycheck.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're not in control of the money.
Well, we have a joint account that he has access to.
But when I say you be in control of the money, I mean
he does not have access to it.
He doesn't have access to it because
Okay.
he's not well.
Okay, I see what you're saying. You're saying.
If you're going to call him an addict, you're going to have to act like it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could just say, my husband smokes some pot sometimes, and he drinks sometimes, and it runs about $500 a month, and I'm not okay with that. That's a different statement than opening the call with my husband is an addict.
Agree.
That's what I mean by language differences. Because I kind of think your husband smokes some pot sometimes, and I think he drinks sometimes, and it runs $500 to $700 a month, and he makes $150,000 a year.
And
he can actually afford it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really killing your household unless his behavior becomes erratic and he loses his freaking job because he's, so freaking mellow from smoking dope all the time.
Okay.
On the spectrum, from what Dave said, where is he? Where does he lie on that spectrum?
I mean, if you want to call him an addict, I'm okay with that, but you're going to have to act like it then, for your sake and the kids' sake. You don't leave children in the home with an addict.
For years.
Yeah.
It's unhealthy.
Yeah. I get it.
So you're going to have to you're either going to have to reclassify this in your mind, or you're going to have to take some more severe action than you have been willing to take so far. Because you're not, if he drinks a 6-pack of beer or whatever, I don't know, whatever this equates to, I don't even know what it amounts to. But anyway, and it's not affecting, he's not drunk, and it's not affecting his work life, but you don't like it. That's different than an addict.
Yeah, that's the question I have. Is this just, like Dave said, is it a budgetary thing? Is it a thing that you think, hey, you shouldn't be spending money on this, there's better things we could be spending money on?
You said his behavior's erratic. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I guess I didn't want to go into everything, but yeah.
Well, we're here now.
Okay, I'm happy to divulge, but was just trying to keep it to the point. And
well, the problem is here's the issue. Okay, the problem in the household was presented as there's an addiction in the household, and I can't tell you what to do with the car loan until we address the problem.
Okay.
Because the problem is, you're right, but you're trying to say, oh, well, not paying off the car, keeping some savings back is going to make this living with an addict okay. It doesn't.
No.
And paying off the car and working our plan, doing the smart things with it, getting yourself out of debt, using $156,000 to be debt free, living on a budget where you're not worried about food and that kind of stuff, because you mentioned food. And you shouldn't have a shortage of food in a $156,000 household, even if there's a $700 addiction problem. It's still, the math doesn't keep you from eating, right?
Well, it does.
No, it doesn't.
What are the other
not
factors?
Mathematically, it does not.
Tell us what we're missing, Megan.
Okay. Well, so just this past month, he spent $700 on his addiction.
Okay.
Our mortgage is $3,400.
Mm-hmm.
Your car payment is $600.
Mm-hmm.
Car payment is $600.
What's your take-home pay every month? Just so I know, I'm doing this math with you.
After bills, after everything.
No, what's the paycheck?
What is his check? What check hits the bank?
The check is $393.
Every
$3,900
twice a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You got way too much coming out of this check.
Yes.
You must be putting money in 401k.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know he's contributing to 401k. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah. Okay. You guys got serious other issues, hon. Y'all need to sit down with a good marriage counselor, and you need to come to a conclusion that this is not an addiction. It is a use, or it is an addiction, and the marriage needs to come to an end, and the children need to be moved out of a house of an addict. It's not safe for them. But when you're making $8,000 a month take-home pay, and you have a $3,000 house payment, you are not out of food because he spent $750. Now, you are going to be out of food if he loses his job because he stays drunk all the time. So I can't tell what the flip's going on here.
CHM isn't health insurance. It's a health cost-sharing ministry. Check it out for yourself at chministries.org/budget.